Okay. All right, let's switch you in just a little bit.
Oh. I'm standing on this chair.
All right, so today is Columbus Day 2019. Here with my best fishing buddy, best friend, Brody. This is my son. Tell us how old you are, Brody.
5.
He's 5. All right, so what we're gonna do today is
Okay, I am standing on a chair.
he's standing on a chair so he can be, yeah, he's not that tall, not yet at least. So today we are going to be making a worm farm because we bought too many worms a couple weeks ago.
If they can't live all in a little box.
Yeah, they're gonna get full in there. So we're gonna make a little worm farm here so we can not only have worms for when we go fishing, but also so we can get rid of our food scraps and some cardboard and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the first step is you find 3 matching tubs. I was able to do this in our attic and garage.
Yeah.
So it took us a while to find the lid for one of them, but you know, this is no longer bike stuff or whatever was in here, but yeah, so we've got our 3 tubs. We've got a drill with a 1/4-inch drill bit. We've got a little bit of dirt from the yard, and then we've got some food scraps and some cardboard and some newspaper. So the first thing we're gonna do is take our 2,
You mean 3?
nope, we're gonna take 2 of the 3 because one of these is gonna be the bottom. That's gonna be where all our worm tea goes, which is really good for, it's like a liquid fertilizer.
Yeah.
You can put it on your plants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the other ones, what we're gonna do is we're going to drill some holes at the bottom to allow that worm tea to come out. And then we're going to drill a little bit of holes across the top to allow,
So I can breathe.
yeah, some ventilation. That's right, Brody. So let's go. I think I'm gonna get a little bit smaller of a drill bit because this doesn't look like a 1/4-inch. I just grabbed it out of the 1/4-inch bin, but I think it's a little bit big. So we're gonna get the right size drill bit because we don't want the worms going out of the bottom, but we do want them to be able to go up through the top, which is a process we'll explain a little bit later.
What if we could just put some stuff down in the bottom, then we could just put the worms on it all?
That's how we're gonna do it. Okay? All right. Let's pause that.
I like when I Okay, people, we're back again. My dad's coming back because so the dirt and stuff were right here, but we got everything and put it in here because the dirt was in there in that purple box, so we poured it in here.
Yeah, so we drill all the holes that you just saw. We put the cardboard in first. They will eat cardboard. And then we put the newspaper in, and then we put our dirt in and kind of mix the dirt up with the newspaper a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay?
and we don't want to get through, so that's why we put cardboard at the bottom with a hole so they couldn't get through.
Right, that helps keep the dirt in for now, okay? But it also is still gonna allow the worm tea to come down once it saturates everything.
Yeah, if the worms go down and they will come out, and they'll come out,
They'll drown in the worm
drown.
tea. Okay, so all right, so first off, we don't need this 3rd jar or the tub yet. What we do need to do is put it on like this. So this is gonna be our initial step or our initial worm farm. And then once we turn all of this into castings with all of our fruits and vegetable scraps we're gonna put in over the next few weeks, it would probably take about a month or so from what I've researched to turn all this into worm castings. And then what we'll do is we'll kind of make this same situation in this tub with the newspaper and the cardboard, and we'll put it on top, just like this, put the lid on top of this one instead of the other one, and the worms will use those holes to come up and search for new dirt to turn into worm castings.
Yeah,
So-
and we forgot to wash my watering can.
Yeah, so he had to run back inside and get it while we were doing that time lapse.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do, Brody, is go ahead and pour the water onto the, because we want it to be a little bit more moist than it is to kind of give the worms a
Yeah,
Okay.
so I can get some drink.
That's right, so go ahead and put that in there, bro.
All of it?
We'll see. Come over here a little bit. Okay, all right, come over here. All right, that's probably pretty good right there. So we'll go ahead and put our worms in. Yep, so we've been kind of feeding these guys a little bit over the last couple weeks with just in this tub, but it's getting too wet in there, and the worms are getting kind of crowded in there also because
Yeah.
they are starting to reproduce.
And they are getting a little bit long.
But you can see we've got already probably, I don't know, between the two tubs we probably have,
This big worm.
between the two tubs we probably have about 100 worms. You know, you can buy starter kits online, but you know, I think that we're gonna be fine here. We've got plenty of worms to start with because our whole goal here is not to make a whole bunch of fish and worms because we don't really do a whole bunch of fishing, right? So we
Okay, they'll eat peppers.
So let's go over what they do like to eat. They will eat just about anything. What have we been feeding them, Brody?
Strawberries,
Yep.
orange peels,
Uh-huh.
peppers.
That's
Okay,
right.
my dad put the peppers in, I put the oranges in.
So, yep, we've got a little bit of peppers. My parents went out of town. They left us with a whole bunch of food from their refrigerator, so we weren't able to eat all those peppers last weekend, so they're in.
We didn't put away and they were getting crowded, so that's why we built this one.
Yep, so we also, one thing they will eat is they really like coffee grounds and filter and all straight in. And this is all going straight on top of where we put the worms. They're already actively searching to get down into the dirt, and once it gets dark, they'll come up and eat all this stuff. Like Brody was mentioning, we've got some orange peels here. Why don't you go ahead and dump those in, bro? And we're gonna keep these containers because these are mighty handy when we do go to the lake to put the worms in. So
We still use them. We still put them. Remember to put them in the refrigerator.
that's right. When they're not actively eating, when you're trying to keep them without having to feed them, you do want to put them in the refrigerator, just like you would when you buy them from the store.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
these worms are actually about 2 months old. So they're 2 months since we bought them from the store. So we're just ripping up the peppers, trying to make it a little bit easier. What you got to say, bro?
Okay, the peppers smell not that good.
The peppers are a little bit rotten, yes. So with that, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna cover this thing up and continue putting you know, our food trash in here. One important thing here is keeping a lid on it when you're not using it. You gotta keep it away from the ants. The ants will get in because there's food in here. The ants will get in, and then also you could even introduce flies, which is a big negative for us. That's why we stopped composting the last time. We weren't worm composting, we were just normal composting. We got a whole bunch of black flies, so that's definitely not an ideal situation. So you want to keep these things between about 60 and 80 degrees if you're trying to get them to actively eat, and then below 60 degrees they'll kind of go into that
How are we going to fit this bug in the fruit?
Oh, we're not putting this in the refrigerator. But if they get below about 50 degrees, they'll start going in that kind of hibernation mode when you buy them from the store, so they won't eat. So with that, we are going to try leaving it outside on the back porch in the shade and see how they do. If we have to bring it inside, that really won't be a big deal. We've got some space that we can put it out of the way, and we'll see how that smells. I don't know. This is all kind of one big experiment just between Brody and I, and we're just kind of sharing our journey with everybody else.
Yeah, and my mom has to go to work today.
Yeah, Mom had to go to work today, so we're doing a lot of little fun projects, little experiments. So Brody's finding his way into really enjoying STEAM Club at school, and we're doing Cub Scouts. Yeah, Miss Hardy is really fun with him. Find his way into Cub Scouts, and this is just all kind of things, you know, that I enjoyed doing when I was in Scouts and when I was a kid. So we're gonna try and see if Brody's excited about them too. So with that, thanks for watching, and can we get a big goodbye?
Bye.
Let's see you later.
See you later, alligator.